I'd like to call to order the Clarkston Independence District Library Board of Trustee meeting for July 15th, 2009. We'll call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Kathy? Here. Michelle Gann? Here. Ann Green?
Here.
Mary Kemper?
Here.
Allison McFadden Casey?
Here.
Marilyn Pomeroy?
Here.
Ann Rose? Here. Here.
I'll accept a motion for approval of the agenda. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Any questions or comments? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Call to the public.
Well, right now we're concentrating at Friends on the fall book sale. It starts on Tuesday, September 24th for members, and then it's basically open to the public on Wednesday the 25th through Saturday the 28th. And once again, the church across the street will be doing a bake sale on Saturday. And if you haven't been there, it is wonderful. They're decorated as gifts, and you could just give them away.
Or eat them.
Excuse me?
Or eat them.
Or eat them, which is what somewhat we do. And the other thing, just want to mention, we're working hard to bring in new volunteers and more board members into the Friends. We kind of need some new blood. Thank you.
Thank you. Call to the public is ended. I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. There are 4 items. Anyone have a question about any of those? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Library statistics.
So I have a little bit of information from Adrienne Columbo, who is our new Community Relations Volunteer Coordinator. She has, since she started, she has recruited 6 new library volunteers. And in the month of June, they put in 37.5 hours helping with the summer reading program, which included registration, button making, assisting Jamie with the Junior Coders program, and the 4th of July parade prep. She also interviewed 3 new volunteers that have committed to shifts in July for a total of 9 library volunteers. They're brand new this year.
Very good.
So she's very excited about that, yeah.
So are we.
Yes.
Excellent.
Then in terms of library statistics, just a few things that I wanted to point out. In June, circulations were up. Downloads are up 30% again, so that's been consistent between 38 and 30% over last year. Wireless users are up 11%. Computer users are down, but we're seeing that the wireless users are growing faster than the shrinking of the computer users, so there's more use, it's just a different kind of use. Yep. Study room usage is growing. We attribute some of that to our new business center, which is getting quite a lot of use. And the children's programming, obviously, because of summer reading is up, so those are some other things that we wanted to highlight.
Excellent. Any comments or questions? Thank you. It was always the most colorful part of the meeting.
You can thank Mr. Bowman. for that
I
part.
do, thank you.
You're welcome.
The library director's report.
Okay. In terms of general information, our 2018 audit was completed and submitted by the June 30th deadline, but due to scheduling conflicts, the presentation by our auditor will take place at the August 12th library board meeting. The public hearings on the library's millage rate and 2020 budget will take place at the September 16th meeting. Next item, once again, the library had an entry in the 4th of July parade. Friends of the Library, Dave and Marion Barron, drove their white Corvette, and we had a walking group wearing summer reading program t-shirts featuring the theme, A Universe of Stories. We also passed out packets of Smarties and with the Friends in the Library logo on them. And the Friends of the Library generously sponsored the t-shirts and the candy that we passed out. In terms of project updates, at this time, all of the repairs and corrections to the fire suppression system have been completed, fingers crossed. We are waiting for the fire marshal to stop by to review the work to confirm that he's satisfied with everything that had been on his list. Next item, 2 sections of concrete work in the island leading to the entrance have been completed. Our snowplow contractor coordinated a repair for damage that occurred over the winter, and our lead custodian coordinated a repair of some concrete near the steps that was in need of repair due to age. So we actually have 2 sets of contractors here working on 2 separate projects funded by 2 different sources. But it's all done. For collaborations, data shows that this community is aging and that there is an interest in aging in place. Recently, the head of adult services and library director met with the staff of the Independence Township Senior Community Center to discuss the possibility of collaborating to offer programs to support caregivers of older adults. This would include information on topics such as recognizing the signs of dementia, resources for supporting older adults, and even programs to help businesses and the community in general become more supportive of an aging population. This program is still in the planning stages, but we are looking forward to announcing a great series of programs and presenters in the late fall to early spring.
Good. I like being proactive.
We're really excited about this. One of the ladies over at the senior center has been to several conferences, and she has some presenters that she would really like to bring to the community, and so by partnering we can afford to bring some of those people to the community. So we're very excited about this project. The library has been collaborating with Independence Township Senior Community Center to provide library service to Homebound for the past several years. Residents who are 18 years of age or older who are unable to get to the library can sign up to have books delivered to their home once a month. The librarian selects materials based on the person's interests, and the senior center provides the delivery. The people who are using the program love it, but we want to make sure that people know about this useful service. So we've created new promotional materials to be distributed throughout the senior center, Autumn Ridge of Clarkson, which is one of the local care facilities, and the Meals on Wheels program. And I have included the new handout in your it's really neat. They fill out the form on the backside and turn it into us. And we have a librarian who's assigned to manage those, and she goes through and helps them select, calls them up and talks about what they would like to read and helps them select materials, and then puts them in a bag. The senior center comes and picks them up, cuts them up, and then a month later, they can return those materials when new materials are dropped off. So it's a very, very efficient system, but like I said, we've been doing it a long time, and it's time to make sure people know about it. And then, last but not least, as reported last month on June 20th, the library hosted a ceremony in collaboration with the American Rosie the Riveter Association dedicating a Rosie the Riveter rose bush honoring Mary and Pat Duncan. We had over 25 attendees, and there were articles about this event and a photo of Pat, her daughters, and the president of the local American Rosie the Riveter Association chapter in both the Open Press and Clarkson News. So we were excited that that was well received.
It really was.
It had a nice turnout.
It was a lovely,
Really, really well done.
and she was very sprightly.
Yes, yes, she was.
You could see that she still had the spunk that she exhibited during World War II. All right, let us move to regular business. We have a review and approval of the SelfCheck station upgrades.
Okay, in 2017, a committee was created to look into accepting credit cards, updating the RFID equipment, and updates to the self-checkout stations. The committee split the project into 3 phases, and having completed phases 1 and 2, we have come to the final phase. The library is able to accept credit cards at the circulation desk as well as online for fine payment. The final phase will be bringing the fine payment to the self-check stations. The included documentation is the committee's recommendation, and Mr. Bowman is here to tell you all about it.
Thank you, Bill.
First off, are there any questions on what I submitted? I mean, it was I know it was a 4-page document, but there was color in it too.
Yeah.
So,
I see that.
but see, yes, this project's been going on for a couple of years now, and the way it ends up is all 3 projects can be put together at the same time with one, you know, the self-checks and the credit card terminals. To get one, we have to upgrade the other, you know, which is kind of the way it goes. And then since we're upgrading those, the 3rd piece is those RFID pads that will go to the tech services department because we've already upgraded the ones at the circulation desk. Specifically, one of the interesting bits that I found when I was doing the
the statistics was actually how much our self-check usage has gone up over the last 3 years. From 2016 to 2018, it has gone from 15% to 29%, and actually already this year, I have run the statistics for January to July, and we're at 30% already. So it's just as people, like right in here, as people see self-checks and are required to use self-checks at a lot of grocery stores and stuff like that, people get used to the idea of self-service. So I feel that these are a good idea to have in our system. And the last bit was we were talking about whether we wanted one or two along the way. We weren't sure if we needed one self-check because it doesn't always look like it was being used. They were all both being used, but the statistics show out that they're all in use almost identically. There's within 1,000 at 14,000 uses over one of the whatever year I can't remember which year I chose to do that for, but within 1,000 of items between the two of them. So we still feel that 2 self-checks are actually the way to go for us at this point. And the way that this quote has been put out by Envisionware gives us the ability to, if there is a high volume time, we can actually build another self-check out of a computer we have laying around. We don't have to buy any more software. That's all available to us just to put on the machine to build one quickly for a short period of time and then tear it back down. So it's like we have what's called a building license instead of an individual license, which actually most of the other companies we dealt with, that's how they do it, is individual. You buy a box, you buy their whole thing, and then every time you need to build a new one, it's another box, and another license, and another whatever. So that was one of the reasons that the committee decided that they wanted to go with the Envisionware products. Other than the fact that it integrates very well with our library system. We have a relationship with Envisionware already, and their support is excellent. Other libraries, I've talked to 3 or 4 other libraries that are using it, even both shared system and standalone libraries, and they set them up and they just keep working. I haven't had, one of the technicians said, I haven't had to touch it in about 6 months. We just put it in place and it just worked. And so, I'm like, all right, I like that already. And the design, but I didn't give you any pictures of what the design looks like, but it's actually a desktop model, the one that I'm looking at. So it sits on something else, which will allow us to repurpose the furniture the existing self-checks are sitting on. So people are already used to the form factor of where they would set their stuff and all their stuff that would fit on that particular size platform. And that was one of the other features we were looking at. I think the 3M Biblioteca one had a plate that was this big, and that was it. That's and you like shove the books into the thing. I'm like, well, there's nowhere. We'd have to build tables next to it or set up tables for all these other sorts of things. To put your cell phone down, your purse, your other books, because you don't just check one book out at the self-check. No, I mean, we get people that are getting stacks and stacks of books that they check out at the self-check. So, and so that's why the part of the proposal states that we need to move some money to get, because when we budgeted, we weren't sure 1 or 2, and so that kind of was budgeted for 1. But then we decided we needed a second one as well, so that's why the change.
If you're going to do it, we might as well prepare for the future.
Right.
We currently have
anyway.
And we have 2 now,
Yeah.
so I mean, it wouldn't be any physical changes to our numbers.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, that was very concise.
It was 4 pages. I needed to give you all the information because it has been going on for a while.
When do you anticipate this would occur?
Well, the credit card terminals take about 8 to 10 weeks as a lead time, but the other equipment could be in much earlier. So I mean, I don't see I could do it in a month. I don't see it coming in. It could come in less than a month, and we can get them set up.
Okay. Any questions or comments? All right. I'll accept a motion.
I recommend that we accept the proposal from Envisionware for the RFID, credit card, and self-check upgrades as presented. We would approve a budget adjustment of $5,389 from fund balance to line 980 equipment.
Second.
Okay, so we've had a motion for part 1 and part 2. Let's vote on part 1 first. It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposal from Envisionware for the RFID credit card self-check upgrades as presented. Everyone in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, that motion is carried. And in order to further that, we have to move some money. So we also have a vote, a motion and a second to approve a budget adjustment of $5,389 from fund balance to line 980, our equipment number. Any other comments or anything on that? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate all the work that goes into it. It makes the whole process so much quicker.
And it's nice to have a committee of people who are invested in this particular portion of the thing. So the head of the technical services department, circulation department, myself were the committee. So all of us have a stake in these devices.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Welcome, thank you.
Okay, item number 2. Everybody have their calendar. We need to set dates for a workshop for the 2020 budget.
So the library's budget is planned and drafted by the library director and staff during the spring and the summer. The library board's staffing committee meets with the library director to go over the organizational structure and staffing costs in late June and early July to address any concerns or changes. And then the library board reviews the initial draft of the budget at the public budget workshop in August. And the date for this workshop is what needs to be set. And then the formal presentation of the 2020 budget and public hearings regarding the library's millage rate and budget will take place at the library board's September 16th meeting. So, August. Well, of course, my little the library's calendar has gotten tighter and gone. There, okay. Is there any particular week that is not good for people?
The one that has the 5th in it, 5th and 7th, with that week.
Not the week of the 5th? Okay.
The week of the 12th to the 17th, that week will not be good for me.
Okay, and the week after that, I think is the week that's bad for me because I think that's the move-in date for my grandson's college.
Okay, so do we want to look at the last week of the month?
Let me just double check the,
Either the week of the 19th or 26th works for me.
I think
That's what you're checking.
I think that's.
yeah,
the
I'm
week
double
of the
checking what the
26th.
move-in
Okay.
date is this year because
Okay.
I should have looked before I left home. Okay, the move-in date is Thursday, August 22nd, so we will, that whole week will be bad.
So maybe the week of the 26th?
That would work for me.
Okay, the end of that week is Labor Day weekend.
Right.
Yes.
So earlier rather than later?
Maybe on Monday.
Are we looking at Monday?
I could be here at 6.
It looks
5:30 if I really left early, but it'd be hard.
Yeah.
6 would be
Monday,
better.
August 26th?
I'll just look really quickly and see.
I kind of don't know if the plan is to like drop them off and run.
Is that far away?
Yeah, because it's in northern Michigan.
Tech.
Yes.
Tuesday the
Far
27th,
away.
I could be
Very
here
far
at
away.
10.
Very.
Yeah.
Sorry, which one?
Tuesday the
Um,
27th, I could be here at 5,
Tuesday.
4:30.
Yeah, I'm free every day the
That
last
is
week
good.
of the month.
Meetings are good for me.
Tuesday looks good. It looks like-
Tuesday, I would think we would
Tuesday be
probably be
better?
back by Tuesday. Monday is,
Iffy?
Okay, Tuesday,
Yeah.
I can do Tuesday.
Tuesday,
So Tuesday
Okay.
the 27th?
Tuesday the 27th.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
Tuesday, August 27th.
5 p.m., is that all right?
5 p.m. sound okay to everybody?
yep.
Great.
Okay.
5 p.m. Budget workshop.
At what time of the day?
5.
5.
Please.
And that will be in the youth activities room.
Youth activities.
Good.
All right.
Because that gives us 2 full weeks
Yeah.
almost 3 weeks before the next meeting.
Sure.
Okay, so, got that down, and I will do a posting on that.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 3, approval of resolution establishing regular meetings.
So it's time to set the meeting schedule for 2020. I have the library's meeting room calendar here, and we do need to do it as a resolution, so that's all in your packet, with a motion and a second and a roll call vote and that sort of thing. But do we still like Monday? Let's start with that.
Mondays are fine for
Mondays are
me.
good? Do we still like 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't like 6, but, I mean, I'll do whatever the rest of the board will. I mean, 6, either earlier or later. Getting out of my driveway is a problem
Oh,
Oh, for 6 o'clock.
for the, getting out for the 6 o'clock meeting. I mean, I had to sit in my driveway 5 minutes.
Okay.
Would 5:30 be
the other
better
day,
for you?
And there wasn't even a Pine Knob event, so
But would 5:30 be better for you?
5:30 would be much better for me.
Okay.
But I don't want to inconvenience anybody.
I can do it, but I'll just have to leave on.
Is that a little bit tight
It's
for
pretty
you?
tight, but I can do it. I might
You
be,
sure?
I might miss the Pledge of Allegiance, but that's okay, you know, I mean, I'll be fine if I miss the Pledge of
Would
Allegiance.
6:30 be better? Does it get better later?
But if
Yeah,
you-
yeah, I was going to say,
I'm worried
either
that 5:30
earlier,
is gonna
either
be
earlier
too
or
tight.
later,
Yeah.
but 6
What if we
is,
split the difference and make, I know it's an odd thing, 5:45.
I could do 5:45.
Would that help? You, Dad?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Doug can come anytime.
I'm here, so whatever is the pleasure of the board is
Okay.
okay with me. I'm worried that we're gonna find that whole 5:30 to 6 o'clock is a mess.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Okay.
I'm worried
Yeah.
6:30 might be
Yeah, I
better.
might find the same thing.
Yeah,
6:30 might work a little better, traffic-wise.
yeah,
yeah.
either earlier or later.
I've noticed when I usually leave at 6:30, so when I leave at 6:30, it's a lot quieter than if I.
Well, 6:30, I mean, that's fine.
Is that too late for people? Our meetings don't run real late.
No, they don't.
They don't.
6:30.
We try to be efficient, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys, on Tuesday, I could be here early. On Tuesday, I could be here at 4:30, 4:45. Would that be better? If people prefer Tuesdays? Or you guys set on Mondays?
Well, Mondays we've been doing, but I could do Tuesday.
I could do Tuesday.
I could also do Tuesdays.
Okay, is it a difference to me?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't make any difference what day it is, it's the time of day that
4:30?
bothers me.
4:30 on Tuesdays? How does that work?
How about you, Ann?
Well, you're still gonna have traffic.
You're going to have traffic no matter what time.
Yeah.
Yeah, traffic anytime.
My husband keeps saying, people seem to be getting off work earlier and earlier
Yeah.
because if they're
It's
driving.
summer too. and-
Yeah,
Does that make it harder for the public to come to the meeting if we make it too early?
it might be
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's stick with Monday. Monday sounds great to me.
Monday at 6:30?
6:30 and 5:45, what are we doing?
6:30 is
6:30
fine.
better.
Okay.
6:30.
6:30?
Mondays at 6:30, got it.
Mondays at 6:30.
Okay, so we're gonna go month by month.
Okay.
In January, because we have a holiday in January and we also have some children's programs that are already hitting the calendar. So I have January 6th and January 13th. Usually that January meeting we do a little early because that's when we set officers.
Okay.
January
January
6th.
6th should be fine.
January 6th, okay?
13th, I can't do the 6th.
Not the 6th, okay,
Yeah.
that makes no difference to me.
January 13th, I can
January
do.
13th is good, okay. In February, the 3rd or the 10th?
Now, if we do it too early, are we having trouble getting statistics and getting,
Well, if it is that early in the month, then sometimes you don't get your statistics. When we get to the ones that are later in the year, then you don't get your financial reports from the accountant. So
If it's
you
too
usually try to
early.
get to mid-month by about the end of the first or second.
Seems
So
like the 10th is space-wise good from the
Space-wise a little
January
better.
meeting. Then if we start moving to later in the month, if you go from February 3rd to like late March, that's kind of a big,
Bit of a jump.
yeah. So we have January 13th, right?
Right.
yeah.
So we want February
10th?
10th, sound
Sounds
all right?
good.
Yeah.
Okay, February 10th.
Okay.
March is a little more open. We have March 2nd, March 9th, March 16th, or March 30th.
Can't make the 2nd.
Okay, not the 2nd.
March 9th?
Right? Keep it early? Yeah, March 9th.
9th. Okay. April 6th or April 13th.
And when are we running into Easter?
April 13th, 11, 12, 13.
The 12th is Easter.
Yeah, the 12th is Easter.
Yeah.
So that would be the day.
The day after Easter.
Now, if you do April 6th, then that's after the end of the first quarter.
You won't get your first quarter
Right,
report. But
right.
We don't always have a first quarter report. We usually get the first quarter report in May because she's doing tax accounting.
Okay, all right, then that's fine then.
Maybe the week after the Easter?
Then we're getting into book sale setup.
Okay.
Okay.
The 6th, so what's 6th, what's fine.
So
April
April 6th?
Okay.
April 6th?
Yeah, well, because some people won't want to come that day after Easter probably.
I see what you're saying.
Doesn't matter to me.
And then in May, I have May 4th or May 11th?
11?
Sure. 11, okay.
Okay.
June is much more open because now we're far enough out that people haven't already started loading the calendar. So June 1st, June 8th, June 15th, June 22nd, or June 29th.
8?
About the 8th, yeah, like 8th.
At the 8th, okay. And in July, July 6th, the 13th, the 20th, or the 27th.
How about the 13th?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because the 6th,
Probably
you're
not
going to have
the
that
4th
too
of
close
July,
to the 4th.
The holiday before that.
So it's
that would be-
July, what?
July 13th.
13th, okay.
And then in August, the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, or the 31st.
10?
Okay. Sure. And then September 14th or 28th.
14th.
14th.
Okay.
She's into
October 5th, 12th, 19th, or 26th.
When is there a holiday in there somewhere?
Columbus Day is the
or-
12th.
October
We do
12th.
not.
That's not a,
Not as
Not
heavily.
not a,
No,
Yeah, we don't.
very, very
we
few
don't have it
people
as a-
get Columbus Day off anymore.
Right. So what date are we looking at?
The 5th, the 12th, the 19th, or the 26th.
12?
Sure, because it's in keeping with.
The 12th is pretty consistent with what we did the
Yeah.
rest of it.
Okay. November 5th, November 12th, November 19th, November 26th, and Thanksgiving is the 26th.
November 12th.
November 12th?
That's not right.
Gee, that's unusual to have
Yeah, no.
October and November on the same
days.
day.
Yeah.
Hang on, wait a
I'm
minute.
thinking, what?
Wait,
Looking at this,
that's right.
November's not right. Wait.
I brought my
Got my
wrong year.
November
Got the wrong year
9th,
on here.
16th.
I have 220.
The 9th is November 2nd.
November should be the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, 23rd.
So like November 9th?
30th. Hang on, let me make sure I don't have all of these dates on. Hold on. I jotted them all down to make it quicker than trying to read them in the.
Now, the other months, it was,
The other
those
months are
were all
right. I don't know
Mondays.
why I have November off. I'm sorry about that.
Well, I knew it couldn't be the 12th and the 12th unless it's
No.
February and March.
There must be a leap year.
Yeah.
Yep, so November would be the 2nd. Oh, wait, we can't do the 2nd because that would be set up for an election.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, this is
So,
early anyway.
Really
the
hoping that.
9th, the 16th, the 23rd, or the 30th.
The 9th, oh, next year.
Yeah.
9th.
Oh, you know what, how about in August?
August, I think I had
That
that
would
one.
be the election,
I think
would
I
be the
had that
week
one marked
before.
because election is the 4th.
Yeah.
So
The
that one
9th,
is
is that what we
March.
said?
So
Yes.
August is the 10th, right?
Yeah.
August is the 10th and November is the 9th. And then December, the 7th, the 14th, or the 28th.
14th.
14th.
Okay.
The 14th.
So then I'm gonna jot these down and go over them. We're gonna do Mondays
Yep.
at 6:30 PM. January 13th. February 10th. March 9th. April 6th. May 11th. Am I going too fast?
No.
June 8th. July 13th. August 10th. September 14th. October 12th. November 9th and December 14th.
Perfect.
Okay. We always know something will come up for somebody sometime.
Not everybody can make every one.
Yeah. That's a good qualifier. That's right.
But we try.
Okay. Now, we need a motion.
Oh, yeah. I move to approve the resolution setting the 2020 library board meeting schedule as January 13th, February 10th, March 9th, April 6th, May 11th, June 8th, July 13th, August 10th, September 14th, October 12th, November 9th, and December 14th.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we set our schedule as presented. Any other comments or questions? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
This one's a roll call.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Roll call.
Jane Gaffney,
Yes.
Michelle Gann,
Yes.
Dan Green,
Yes.
Mary Hamburg,
Yes.
Allison McFadden-Keesley,
Yes.
Marilyn Pomeroy,
Yes.
Ann Rose.
Yes.
Thank you. It's good looking right at it.
That's okay. This one still throws me off. I'm not sure why it's a resolution, but it is.
All right.
That's what the attorney told me to do, so that's what I'm doing.
We definitely want to
We do what she tells us to do.
follow the directions.
That's right.
Finally, today, we need to approve the library closure dates for 2020.
So each year, the library board is asked to review and approve the library's closed date calendar. You got it?
Yep, it's right on the back of the agenda item.
Traditionally, we do this in late summer to help staff begin planning programming for the new year and to allow the dates to be added to the computer system well before the beginning of the year, since the library materials are not due and fines do not accrue on days the library is closed. So I've got the 2020 library closure date calendar here for approval. It does not include a proposed date for the annual staff training day. We're holding a shared training day with neighboring libraries, and we have not yet discussed with the other libraries if we want to select a date together for 2020, so we'll bring that date separately like we did this past year. But I just kind of put this together based on what we've been doing traditionally each year.
There's something reassuring about having the same holidays every year.
Yeah. It makes it really kind of simple and straightforward.
Right. It makes
It
several
does.
three-day weekends.
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
So Independence Day is on Saturday this year.
Yeah, that one was a little bit awkward. I thought maybe what we'd do is go ahead and set it, and then if we find out other libraries are doing something different, we can change it at a later date, but I at least want to get everything else locked down. Nobody else is really talking about it quite this early. I don't know why they don't talk about it this early, because if we don't get it on the calendar, our calendar gets filled up with things. I already have to take something off of President's Day because it wasn't on our events calendar and somebody put something on President's Day, so. The alternative would be, we will be closed on Sunday because it's summer, so it'll be Saturday, Sunday. It could be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a long weekend for the holiday.
So it's possible.
You know, that's one of those things that any place else, that periodically the holiday hits in such a way that it's not as long a weekend as people are used to, and that's sort of the life of how things hit, so.
Well, the interesting thing about this one is we could either close on Friday and everybody takes Friday off, it'd be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, long weekend. Or if it's there all week, then everybody gets to pick the day off that they want that week. So.
Yeah, so.
I think, well, we know it's going to be Saturday for sure.
We know
Right,
Saturday for
right,
sure.
and that's sort of the main thing, is to get that established and then kind of see, like you say, what other libraries are doing and.
Yeah. One of the things that's a little bit awkward about it is that we're in the parade, so then if we're closed on Friday, there's probably going to be somebody here on Friday anyway prepping for the parade, because to prep everything on Thursday, I don't know, so we'll see.
So that's kind of far in advance.
It is a little bit far in advance. It's not the date I'm worried about. I'm worried about getting everything else on the calendar so that we don't have programs that have to be rearranged.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have a star next to July 4th in case something, Friday gets added in or something. So other than that, does anybody see a problem?
Like I said, it depends on how you feel about making that a 3-day week, because it would be a 3-day weekend. It would be closed for 3 days.
Are we very busy on the
Maybe
4th?
the next-
Is it a busy time for us?
The week of the 4th is less, is definitely less busy. Summer is always busy, but the week of the 4th is less
Yeah.
busy because there are a lot of people.
But like you say, because of the parade, that kind of makes the whole thing awkward.
I don't, yeah, that's why that's why I kind of threw it out there and thought, well, the board can kick this one around and see what they want to do.
I don't have strong feelings.
I don't either one way or the other, so I'm inclined to agree that just kind of wait and see what other libraries are doing, and then if,
I suspect that the staff would appreciate a 3-day weekend, but as I said, we're also going to end up with people who are here on Friday, making sure we're ready for the parade on Saturday too, so.
So,
Yeah.
But you're going to have Sunday.
Either way,
It's
yeah.
a recovery day. for
It's
most of
true, that's very,
I
very
remember
true.
something
Yeah.
like that.
And we don't do slopes anymore, because we determined that this is, what we do now is a little more streamlined, so.
Yes, floats are very labor intensive.
They are very labor intensive.
And thought
We
intensive.
do a car and a group, which is a little bit easier.
And a banner if necessary.
And a banner, we do banner,
A
yeah.
banner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, any thoughts on July 4th? Leave it as is at the moment?
Yeah, that's what I think.
That's-
I have it here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll accept a motion.
I move that we approve the resolutions that, oh no, that's the wrong one. It's on this piece of paper. I move that we approve the 2020 closed date calendar as presented.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the 2020 closed date calendar as presented. Any other comments or questions? In that case, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. And, Dan, I'll accept a motion.
Well, it's a good thing I was here.
Otherwise, who knows how long they'll be here.
And Allison seconded.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn at 6:36.
Yeah.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion accepted.
Maybe a weird window closed.
Thank you all.